Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, we're going to have comedy on this Sunday, and we'll have comedy also tomorrow on our show. Today, Jimmy Durante, Bill Harris, and Alice Faye, the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and an episode of the Old Gold Comedy Theater. Thanks for being with us on this Sunday, 3rd day of December, 337th day of the year, 28 days left till we get to 2024. Lewis and Clark expedition marked their explorations from the Missouri River overland to the Columbia River on a pine tree beginning on this date in 1805. Illinois became the 21st state of the Union on this date in 1818. Teddy Roosevelt delivered a 20,000-word speech to the House of Representatives in 1901, asking Congress to curb the power of trusts within reasonable limits. In 1929, President Hoover announced to the U.S. Congress the worst effects of the stock market crash are behind the nation and that the American people have regained faith in the economy on this date in 1929. Unfortunately, time was ahead for the stock market crash to roll on. In 1964, police arrested over 800 students at the University of California, Berkeley, following their takeover and sit-in at the administration building in protest at the UC Regent's decision to forbid protests on the University of California property.
I urge you, both individually and collectively, to leave this area. I request that you immediately disperse. Failure to disperse will result in disciplinary action by the university. Please go.
Unfortunately, it went on for quite some time. At Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town, South Africa on this date in 1967, a transplant team headed by Christian Barnard carried out the first heart transplant on a human. Also in 1967, the luxury train 20th Century Limited completed its last run from New York City to Chicago. The train inaugurated in 1902, so it was its 65th anniversary. In 1973, Pioneer 10 sent back the first close-up images of Jupiter. In 1976, an assassination attempt made on the singer Bob Marley. He was shot twice, but he still played a concert 2 days later. In 1979, in Cincinnati, 11 fans are killed during a stampede for seats before a Who concert at Riverfront Coliseum.
I feel the management was right in not telling us and letting us carry on with the show, because I think if the show had been stopped, I think it would have been an even worse tragedy. You would have had 17,000 kids stampeding over people trying to help other people.
That incident also played out in an episode of WKRP in Cincinnati, as the events were remembered at that time. A soil sample taken from Times Beach, Missouri on this date in 1982 found to contain 300 times the safe level of dioxin. 1984, a methyl isocyanide leak from a Union Carbide pesticide plant in Bhopal, India, killed more than 3,800 people outright, injured 150 to 600,000 others.
In every house, there was a dead body.
An unprecedented accidental leak occurred in one of the underground storage tanks containing methyl isocyanate, a chemical intermediate used in the production of various pesticides. This led to the escape of methyl isocyanate gas into the atmosphere, resulting in fatalities and injuries.
That last voice, a Union Carbide spokesman, some 6,000 people would later die from their injuries. It was one of the worst industrial disasters in history. 1989, in a meeting off the coast of Malta, President George Herbert Walker Bush and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev released statements indicating that the Cold War between their nations may be coming to an end. In 1992, a Security Council resolution passed approving a coalition of UN peacekeepers led by the U.S. to form UNITAF with the task of establishing peace and ensuring that humanitarian aid distributed in Somalia. 1999, NASA lost contact with the Mars polar lander moments before the spacecraft entered the Martian atmosphere. In 2005, X-Corp Aerospace made the first manned rocket aircraft delivery of U.S. mail in Mojave, California. And in 2007, devastating winter storms caused the Chehalis River to flood many cities in Lewis County, Washington, also closing a 20-mile stretch of Interstate 5 for several days. 8 deaths, billions of dollars of damage blamed on the floods. Passing away on this date in history, writer Robert Louis Stevenson, the original owner of the New York Jets Harry Wismer, singer Scatman John, and Madeline Kahn.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
On the wings of a snow-white dove, Ferlin Husky born on this date, as was Andy Williams. Moon River, wider than a mile. Such great singers. Also another great singer who got her best time. She had 5 big hits in 1955, and yet we remember her most for her time on the Crazy Gong Show. J.P. Morgan, 92 years old today. Singer Ozzy Osbourne is 75. Sean! From Jefferson Starship, Mickey Thomas is 73. From the great group Brotherhood of Man, United we stand, divided we fall. Nikki Stevens, 74 years old today. From Splash and Blade Runner, Daryl Hannah, 63. From The Mummy and the Whale, Brendan Fraser, 55 years old. From Charmed and Pretty Little Liars, Holly Marie Combs is 50. From A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Melinda Williams is 54. The brother of Natasha Bedingfield, Daniel Bedingfield, 44 years old today. From My Girl and Veep, Anna Chomsky is 43. From Step Up, An American Horror Story, Jenna Dewan is 43. And from Mean Girls, Amanda Seyfried is 38. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 3rd day of December as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And we'll get this show rolling in just a moment. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on a Sunday, and an episode of the Jimmy Durante Show with his guest, Charles Boyer.
There's a price tag on almost everything. Whether you drive a shiny new 1952 model or a pre-war jalopy, you had to pay the price. And when you're driving that car, remember that speed also has its price. The price tag on speed violations last year was 15,000 killed and 500,000 injured. This year, thousands of lives can be saved if you and millions of other motorists come to the sober realization that speed is the biggest killer on the highways and resolve to slow down before you or someone else pays the price that must be paid for it. You can do your part by keeping within speed limits. At all times, drive as though your life depends on it. It does.
And now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the Jimmy Durante Show. This episode goes back 76 years to December 3rd, 1947.
Good health to all from Rexall. From Hollywood, the Jimmy Durante Show.
Ink, a dinkity, a dinkadoo, a dinkadee. All honestly, all in. Ink, a dinkity, a dinkadoo, a dinkadee.
Yes, 10,000 Rexall drugstores who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products bring you the Jimmy Durante Show with Peggy Lee, Arthur Treacher, Candy Candido, Roy Barbie and his orchestra, our Rexall sportscaster Tommy Harmon, yours truly Howard Petrie, and our special guest tonight, Mr. Charles Boyer. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jimmy Durante in person.
gotta start off each day with a song.
Call for Santa Claus.
Even when things go wrong,
Call for Santa Claus.
you feel better, you even look better.
I saw that petticoat first. No, that's my petticoat. It's my petticoat. Oh, you beast. Take that.
That was millions of women shoppers being pushed out of store windows all over the country.
Oh, gosh, Jimmy, you really take a chance when you get in one of those Christmas shopping crowds.
Howard is meddling with mayhem. The other day I went into a department store and I was pounded from pillar to post. Finally, I got caught in a multitude of women, and the next thing I knew, I was in the corset section with 3 sales girls lacing me up.
Oh, gosh, Jim, what happened?
Congratulate me, Howard. I'm now page 12 in the Sears Roebuck catalog. While they were lacing me, I hummed Holiday for Strings.
Well, what were you shopping for in the first place, Jimmy?
One of the bare necessities of life, Howard. A pair of pajamas. I found myself on the 6th floor, and when I stepped into the elevator, that's when my troubles began.
Well, what happened, Jim?
I asked the elevator girl where I'd find the tops and bottoms of a pair of pajamas, and she said, well, you go down for the tops and up for the bottoms. But if you go up for the tops and find the bottoms down, then you should go down for the bottom and you'll find the tops up. In which case you should go down and wait for the bottoms to come up. So if you go up and wait for the tops to come down, or the bottoms will be the tops when the tops are the bottoms when they come up. And then the bottoms will be down on the tops, and the tops will be at the bottoms when the bottoms come up.
Well, tell me something, Jim. Did you finally get the pajamas?
I won't say, but it's going to be awfully chilly when I go out to get the milk in the morning.
Ah, gee, I guess you're just about the busiest fellow in town, Jim.
Indubitably, Howard, indubitably, to quote myself. Besides my work as aide to President Truman, who do you think was just chosen by Charles Boyer to appear in his new repertoire company?
Gregory Peck?
You missed the $1 question. Would you like to try for a new job?
You mean it was...
Durante?
Oh.
I'm going to see Charles tonight where, come in.
Blow the bugle, play a long fanfare. Falstaff Openshaw is back on the air.
You know, you're putting on a little weight, Falstaff. Is that your stomach, or is the big form meeting under your vest?
Enough of this falderal buffoon. I heard about your repertory theater, and I have some Shakespearean rondelets that you might like to do. Have you heard, since he hit her in the mouth with the candelabra, she can't sing the words to Chibabra Chibabra?
A clever piece of stupidity, but you see...
Quiet, lowbrow, I have more. Have you heard grandmother's face turned a ghastly green when she lost her pay in the claw machine?
Please, fat boy, I don't want to...
Silence, knave. You're stifling the muse. Here is my masterpiece. Oscar is happy. In his eyes, there's a gleam. He was made 3rd jerk on the tug-of-war team.
Now, wait a minute. That's the last straw. The interview is over, Mr. Open-Toe Flagstaff.
Egad. A slur on my character. I leave, my friend, and in the words of Longfellow, is that your nose or a sock full of Jell-O?
I'm surrounded by assassins. There's no rest for Durante. Hello. What's that? The Rose Bowl officials? Because of my nose, you want to make me Queen of the Rose Parade on New Year's Day? I accept with thanks. Goodbye.
Jimmy, why should they make you Queen of the Rose Parade just because of your nose, huh?
Where else can they find a queen that will bring her own float?
Ah, gosh, Jimmy, you're really a popular guy. While you were on the phone, a young girl singer came in who said she wanted to work with you and Mr. Boyer. Jimmy, meet Cecilia.
Hello.
My, what a strange, exotic type of beauty.
Go ahead and speak up, Cecilia. How do you feel about singing with Jimmy Durante?
I'm feeling mighty low.
She must be a very young girl. There's pablum in her mustache.
Well, I have my music right here. Would you care to join me in a song?
How can I refuse such beauty? Let's go! Does your mother know you're out, Cecilia?
No.
Does she know that I am about to steal ya?
No.
My, oh my, when I look in your eyes, something tells me you and I should get together. How's about a little kiss, Cecilia?
Well.
Just a kiss, Miss Cecilia.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't like your style. You keep brushing me all the time.
Ah, don't be that way, Cecilia. Come on, look into my eyes.
Which part, the whites or the yolks?
Well, you can't resist me any longer, Cecilia. Pucker up, I'm gonna kiss you. Mwah. There, how do you like that?
Oh, your kisses thrill me clear
Down to my toe.
I do need you keep on wasting time. Come on, Cecilia, say that you'll be mine.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Did you know that more than 2,000 different drug products carry the name Rexall? That's a big family indeed, and a highly respected one, too. For in millions of American homes, the familiar name Rexall has come to mean the utmost in quality, purity, and reliability. So, for any and for all of your drug needs, always buy Rexall. Have confidence in what that name means. Quality, purity, and reliability in drug products. Get them at Rexall drugstores throughout the nation, where 25% of America buys its drug needs.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Mr. Durante, sir, I am glad you're home.
This is no time for peasantries, Treacher. It's getting late. I want you to lay out my clothes for my visit to Charles Boyer. I'm wearing my purple beret, my orange sport coat, my pink shirt, my socks with the yellow and green stripes, and my lavender pants.
Are you wearing your black shoes, sir?
What, look conspicuous?
Well, sir, everything is ready. I've ironed your linen.
Did you do my shorts yet?
No, I'm saving them till later, sir. I like my hand to be steady when I'm working on lace.
Mrs. Calabash gave me the ones with the little pocket for sachet. But let's get busy, Treacher. I don't want to keep Mr. Boyer waiting. I hope he doesn't suspect about me and ignorant Bergman.
Well, I'd love to help you, sir, but you see, I sort of wanted to pick up some extra money for Christmas. So tonight, I'm a babysitter.
Babysitter?
Yes, here's the little tyke right here.
A baby in Durante's house? But I'm an eligible bachelor. This could ruin my amateur standing.
Oh, but look at the cute little tot, sir. Why, we even talk together. Listen. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Thank you, F.E. Boom of Lexington, Kentucky. Treacher, you don't know anything about babies. Do you know how to apply infants' unmentionables?
Oh, of course. Just watch me. Now, you take this corner of the diaper and fold it over there. Then you take this other corner and you fix it around the leg like this with this big safety pin. There. Now, how does that look?
Looks all right on me, but how is it going to look on the baby? I feel like Mahatma Grande.
Oh, look, sir. I think the baby likes you. He's smiling.
He's a cute little rascal. Hello, little baby.
Cool.
Come on, little baby.
Cool.
What do you think of your Uncle Jimmy?
Cuckoo.
This kid brought his own rider. But, Treacher, this is silly. I'm going to be late for my appointment.
All right, sir, but just help me bathe the tot first, will you? Here, we'll put him in the Bendix washer.
All right, here goes. I'll throw the switch. There, Yeah, well, little baby, how do you feel after your bath in the washing machine?
Don't you stand there, ring me out.
Why, this kid is waterlogged. But, Treacher, enough of this falderal. I'm off to meet Boyer.
May I have your attention, please?
Quiet on the stage, everybody.
I'm delighted to see such a large turnout for these auditions. And now, may I introduce the director and producer of our repertory company, Mr. Charles Boyer.
Thank you, everybody. Now we'll proceed at once with the auditions. All right, mademoiselle. You will read for me first. Go ahead, please.
Oh, so it's you. You've come back. How could you go and leave me when I was expecting a baby?
No, mademoiselle. You sound as if you were expecting a pickled herring from Sam's Delicatessen. I'll read it for you. Listen.
Well, what did you want to see me about, Mr.?
No, don't bother me, please. I'm busy. Now, listen to me, mademoiselle. How could you? How could you go and leave me when I was expecting a baby?
Charles, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Have a cigar.
Jimmy Durante, am I glad to see you. Take 5 minutes for a smoke, everybody. Jimmy, you look wonderful, mon cher.
Monsieur Charles and Monsieur Squawky Maldemer. That would have been good if I'd have read it right.
It would have been perfect if you hadn't said it at all. But tell me, you handsome scalawag, what is the secret of your charm?
Well, perhaps it's the way I dress. Comme ci, comme ça. Call it studied callousness. I get up in the morning, dress immaculately, then I move my tie off center, let one sock drop, move 2 hairs out of place. Voila, careless Durante. But, monsieur, to coin a phrase, what's the secret of your charm?
Well, I get up in the morning, dress immaculately, go Christmas shopping during the rush hour at Woolworth. Voila, sloppy boyer.
Oh, come on, Charlie, you're pulling my leg. Why, in the movie magazines, they refer to you as the quintessence of romanticism.
Jimmy. Now, look, you've been a clown too long.
I have?
Yes, that's why I want you to join my repertory company, so you can play romantic tragedy like Cyrano de Bergerac.
Me play Cyrano de Bergerac? That guy's got a big nose. Do you think mine fits the part?
Definitely. And take it off my shoulder. Jimmy, you'll be magnificent as a romantic lover. Why, there is not a woman in the world who could resist you.
If Miss Hush is listening, call me after the program. We'll go halfies on the price.
Jimmy, forgive me for making suggestions to the master, but to be a success with women, my theory is to ignore them. I hold their hands and do not notice them. I take them in my arms and act as if they were not there. I kiss them and pay no attention to them.
Oh, Mr. Boyer?
Yes, Miss Lee?
Ignore me.
Well, it's Peggy Lee. Welcome back, Peggy. Believe me, we're happy that you're well again.
Well, thanks, Jimmy.
Mademoiselle Lee, ravi de vous rencontrer. J'ai toujours pensé que vous étiez une des femmes les plus ravissantes de cette ville.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, Monsieur Boyer, vous qui passez sans me voir.
Peggy, why don't you talk like that to me?
All right, Jimmy. Parlez-moi des mots. Embrassez-moi.
Well, it's better than cutting your finger with a knife and bleeding to death.
Would you favor us with a song, Miss Lee, while Mr. Durante and I rehearse our parts for Cyrano de Bergerac?
I'd be very happy to. I'll dance. Oh, yes, I'll dance at your wedding. I'll dance at your wedding. I'll dance at your wedding. I'll have a wonderful time. I'll drink to your father, I'll drink to your mother, then I'll have another for all lang syne. I'll kiss all the bachelors, the young and old, and then I'll have myself another drink and kiss them them all again. I've danced at your wedding. I won't miss that wedding. I've danced at your wedding. Am I gonna shine at your wedding and mine? I can have my something borrowed, something old and something new. Everybody will kiss the bride, but I'll save a few for you. I wish you'd take it easy, don't get hit by any old shoe. Save some of that rice they throw, we'll need it in a year or two.
We'll drink to your father.
Drink to your father.
Drink to your mother.
We'll drink to your mother.
We'll have another.
We'll drink to your brother.
Maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, maybe more.
I'll kiss all the bachelors, the young and old, and then I'll have myself another drink and kiss them all again. I'll dance at your wedding. I won't miss that wedding. I'll dance at your wedding. Am I gonna shine at your wedding and mine?
Here is a 60-second story from the Rexall Laboratory.
This chapter of the Rexall quality story might be called The Sealed Room. But there's no mystery here, no overtones of ghostly horror, but only the quiet, concentrated intensity of scientists at work to guard your health. The Sealed Room? You'll find it in the Rexall Control Laboratory, a glass-walled cubicle strictly off-limits to germs. In this disinfected room, the strength of antiseptics tested, the potency of some vitamins and other painstaking, highly accurate experiments are made. It's only one small part of the great Rexall Control Laboratory, but it contributes mightily to the meaning of that fact you know so well, that you can always depend on any product that bears the name Rexall.
So for any and for all of your household drug needs, always buy Rexall at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall. Ladies and gentlemen, we're broadcasting direct from the Théâtre des Artistes, where we're about to witness Cyrano de Bergerac, starring Mr. Charles Boyer and Mr. James Durante. The story concerns Cyrano, who was hopelessly in love with the fair Roxane. Hopelessly because of his gargantuan nose, played by Jimmy Durante. And how the house lights dim and the curtain rises.
Kill him! Get him! Kill Cyrano! He must not escape! He must not!
Kill Cyrano? Never. Take that, you vow. And that. And that. And that. Yes, run, you cowards, if you're still standing.
Cyrano, are you all right? What happened?
I was ambushed by 100 of the geese's henchmen. Mon Dieu, what exhilarating exercise. 20 I smote with the sword in my right hand, 30 I slayed with the dagger in my left hand, and the other 50?
Yes?
I stabbed with my nose.
Oh, good old Cyrano. Oh, too bad I was late. I love a good fight. At the gymnasium, they tell me I have the best muscles in the group.
They do?
Yes. Pretty soon they're going to transfer me to the men's class.
This kid has the makings of another Dennis Day. But, Chris, I bear happy tidings for you. Roxanne, the fairest flower in all France, loves you, not me. Alas, I was eliminated in the semi-finals.
Oh, Roxanne loves me. Why, I serenaded her last night beneath a balcony. Oh, she was so lovely. Her lustrous eyes shining, her heaving chest rising and falling to the romantic strains of bonga, bonga, bonga. I don't want to leave the conga.
How do you like that, a French ink spot?
Come, Cyrano. I go at once and ask for Roxane's hand.
Good, I'll help you mount your horse. Up you go.
I'm off. course. I told you couldn't wear elevator shoes.
Let's away.
Look, Cyrano. Roxanne stands on her balcony. I'm lost. I can never win her. I have no wit, no poetry.
What are you kicking about? I got no jokes. But, Chris, you've already run Roxanne. I've been writing up passionate love letters and signing your name.
Cyrano, what a beautiful gesture. Quick, give me the letter. I'll read it to her.
Ah, Chris, I have waited so long. Kiss me.
Wait, first I will read the letter. Dear Roxanne, my poopsie, I do not deserve you. You are a peachy girl, a beautiful girl, and I ain't none of those things. I'm a boy.
Yes. Don't be so modest, Chris. Sometimes that's all that's required.
Ah, what a beautiful letter. Read on.
You are the epitome of pulchritudinous. And if you should leave me, it would be a catastrophe.
That's my boy who said that.
Ah, what lovely words. Read on.
Oh, why am I living? Why was I born? The sheep is in the meadow, the cow is in the corn.
Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris.
Oh, brother.
This dialogue could bring back silent radio.
And now, Chris, you may kiss my lily white hand.
I will kiss your white hand, your weft hand, and your would-be wet whips. Oh, my darling, this will be a night of love. I love you, Roxanne.
I love you too, Chris.
Again, I wind up with the morning papers.
Tragedy stalks the romance of Chris and Roxanne. What a fate, to be called to battle on the night of his marriage.
Men, stop that breach. The enemy is coming through. I'll defend the moat. Cyrano, you defend the castle.
Wait a minute. Stop everything. Don't move, don't talk. Nobody say a word.
Cyrano, what happened?
I lost my place in the script. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Here it is. On with the battle.
Cyrano, my friend. Ah, this is a black moment for us.
Cyrano.
Roxanne, what are you doing here? Oh, you're crying, my sweet. Here, let me wipe the tears from your lovely lashes. There.
Thank you. Here's your handkerchief.
Thank you. Oh, here's your lashes.
Yeah.
But I must tell you, Chris, Cyrano is the one I really love.
But Roxanne, how could you love anybody with a nose like this?
But that is what I've always loved about you, your nose, your noble nose. How I love the way it waves majestically in the breeze.
Ah, what a sweet moment is this. Roxanne loves me for my nose.
Be careful, Cyrano. The enemy will see you.
I care not. With Roxanne's love, I fear no man. I can hold my nose high again. It's gone. I lose more noses that way.
That leaves only me, Roxanne. Come, we'll be married. Farewell, Cyrano.
Farewell, Cyrano.
Wait a minute. What about my nose?
I'll call the automobile club and have it towed in. Farewell. James, your Cyrano was magnifique.
Muchas gracious, monsieur. And now, don't laugh, boys. I know what I'm talking about. Muchas gracious, monsieur. And now maybe you can help me out. My publishing company's got a song, and if you'll sing it, it'll put another arch in your triumph.
But now, Jimmy,
please, let me demonstrate. Chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat. Chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat.
Yeah. But isn't that a little monotonous?
Yeah. Yeah, but wait, later it gets mediocre. Someday the world will recognize this lovely thing. I know the day will come when Frank and Bing will sing.
Frank and Bing will sing this?
That's right.
Brave man. I must get a French general to kiss her.
Chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat, chitty beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's getting better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll reconsider.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is Howard Petrie again with the Rexall reminder for the Christmas season now at hand. This is the time of year when your Rexall druggist steps out of his traditional role and plays Santa Claus for millions of busy Christmas shoppers. Your Rexall drugstore is your most convenient Christmas shopping center with hundreds of different and original gifts. For that most important lady of all, see the exquisitely beautiful Caranome gift sets sold only at Rexall drugstores. No woman could resist a colorful set of Caranome lipsticks with matching rouge or a lovely box of Caranome face powder and Caranome perfume. Make your Rexall drugstore gift headquarters for all your Christmas shopping this year.
Touche, Professor Peteman, I'd like to add, I do my Christmas shopping at a Rexall store. What I want, they got, and furthermore, hombre algo, he prefers them too. We buy Rexall, that's all. How do you do? Thanks, Charles Boyer, for coming over tonight. And next week's folks, Boris Karloff is going to be our guest. Before we close, we're going to get a little lowdown on one of the big football games this week from Tommy Harmon, famous player of the Los Angeles Rams. Tommy, tell us what goes with the football situation this week.
Well, Jim, our football schedule is getting a bit thin now, with the exception of the bowl games. But this Saturday we have one more football natural for our Rexall forecast. The game between Notre Dame and Southern California will attract nationwide interest. Notre Dame, shooting for an undefeated and untied season, will be tackling the strongest team on the coast, Southern California. The experts have said that Notre Dame this year has only played good enough to win. At no time have they tried to shoot the works. Saturday they will. The Irish have a dream football team coached by one of the finest college coaches to come down the pike in many a moon. How anyone can beat the Irish is hard to imagine, but don't underestimate the Trojans. Southern California has always played its best football game of the year against Notre Dame. My informants in South Bend tell me that Notre Dame has had a tough time practicing this week because of heavy snow. But I still think Notre Dame will win. I only hope that the Notre Dame boys don't bring along their clippings, though, because if they do, they're liable to find out that Southern California has little regard for newspaper talk. They only understand one language, the language of rock and sock football, a lingo that the Trojans speak pretty well themselves.
Well, Rexall for tonight, folks, from Arthur Treacher, Peggy Lee, Roy Bargy, yours truly, Howard Petrie.
And Jimmy Durante, who says, good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
This program was produced and directed by Bill Cohan. Charles Boyer will soon be seen in the Enterprise production Arc to Triumph. Good health to all from Rexall.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
And in front of almost 105,000 fans, the USC Trojan fans saw Notre Dame whoop them 38-7. Notre Dame had an undefeated season. December 3rd, 1947, the Jimmy Durante Show from 76 years ago. That game, by the way, was on December 6th. 3 days later. But it was still quite the game and quite the rivalry, and we're going to quietly shut up here. Phil Harris and Alice Faye from December 3rd, 1950, 73 years ago is next. That also, well, no, I don't think that was a Rexall show at the time.
Everyone who works for a living knows that illness or injury may keep them from earning a living. Today, more than 9 out of 10 American workers are covered by Social Security, and each one should know that if he becomes severely disabled, he and his family may be eligible for monthly Social Security disability payments. More than 1 million people are now receiving benefits each month under this program. For more information about Social Security disability benefits, write to Social Security, Department 15, Hollywood 28, California, and ask for a free copy of Booklet 29 called if you become disabled.
And I was right. There was no sponsor on this edition of the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. This was originally broadcast 73 years ago, December 3rd, 1950. And Phil's popular hit record, The Thing, plays a great deal in this episode.
From Hollywood, the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliott Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Scharf in his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. The Harrises are a typical married couple. Through the years, they've had their arguments and differences, but never once have they had a serious fist fight. However, for the past 3 weeks, their relations have been a bit strained, and right now, things seem to be at the breaking point.
Phil, I can't stand any more of this. We've always been honest with each other. You've never kept anything from me until now. After all, I've been a good wife to you, and I'm the mother of your children, and I've got a right to know. What is the thing?
Is that all you want to know? Honey, don't scare me like that. For a minute, I thought you found out about that red-headed car hop that... Woo! Honey, you see, the thing
Never
is...
mind that, Philip. Let's get back to the red-headed car hop.
She can wait. I want to know what the thing is. Phil, are you going to tell me or aren't you?
Honey, I can't tell you. I've been sworn to secrecy. If it ever got out what the thing is, it would be the end.
The end of what?
The royalties on my record.
I can't understand why that record is such a big hit. There's nothing to the tune. The lyrics are childish, and as for your voice, ugh.
I think Daddy's record is wonderful. So do I. In fact, we brought it to school yesterday, and we played it all day long for the teacher.
Hey, nice going, kids, and I'll bet that she loved every... Hey, wait a minute. Why aren't you kids in school today?
We've been expelled.
The teacher expelled you because you played my record for her? I'm going down to see her. I'm going to tell her off.
It won't do any good, Daddy. We tried to reason with her.
Well, what did she say?
Nothing. She just sat there staring straight ahead and going...
You see, Philip, that's what the teacher thinks of your record.
That don't prove nothing. That's just one intellectual's opinion. In fact, Victor sold so many records that I have to go down today and record it again with a band. And I'd better leave now or I'll be late. I'll see you later, Alice.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Okay, fellas. All right, fellas.
What do you mean?
All right, you can break. All right, put the cards away, will you? All right, let's drop everything. Get that change off the table. Let's have it quiet. Now pick up that stuff. All right, gentlemen. I have good news for you. I've just received the first check from RCA Victor for the royalties made on our recording of The Thing. Due to your fine musicianship, your excellent arrangement, your unceasing efforts, I have made $10,000. Are there any questions, gentlemen?
Yeah! Where's the cabbage and where do we get our mitts on it? Let's knock them down and roll them.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you fellas won't have to resort to force. I am not forgetting your contribution to the success of this record. I had the check cashed, and I have the money right here. Now, if you'll all get in line and walk slowly past me, you may feel the money.
We're tired of feeling the stuff. We want to keep a little of it.
All right, Artie. I want to be fair about this. I happen to be the leader, and I think I ought to keep the money. But if any of you have any suggestions for a better distribution of the loot, Now is the time to stand up and keep his big mouth shut. Let's get settled down and rehearse the thing once more before we record it.
We ain't gonna do it.
Why not?
I don't like the song.
Well, what's the matter with you, Sammy? You never like any songs I do. How come?
I don't know. Unless it's because you got such a lousy voice.
I like Phil's voice, and I like the songs he does, too.
What some guys won't say to get a raise.
All right. Hey, Artie. Do you really like my voice?
Sure, and I like to sing. It reminds me of my wife.
It does?
Yeah, that's where I found her, in a box on a beach.
Oh. Artie, you ought to be ashamed of yourself talking about your wife that way. How can you say such things about such a sweet, lovable person?
Have you ever seen my wife?
No.
Then shut up.
Look, Artie, that's no way to talk to your leader. Now, you're going to rehearse the thing with me, or aren't you?
No, we want our share of what you make in a record.
All right, fellas, all right. All right. I'm the captain of this crew. One more uprising such as this, and I'll cut your rum rations. Trouble with you guys is you don't do anything unless you get paid for it. Money, 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 money. That's all you think of. The only one who hasn't asked for anything is Remley, and do you know why?
Yeah, he ain't here yet.
Oh. No wonder I didn't hear the sound of his greedy little voice. Where is Remley?
He's doubling up on another job so he can make a living.
You mean to tell me that he's taking another job on my time? If there's one thing that I can't stand, it's a no-good, two-timing, chiseling, no-talent, double-cross.
Curly, I overheard what you just said, and congratulations.
Congratulations?
Yeah, it takes a big man to admit his own faults.
Look, Frankie,
You're everything you said you are, and a little more, too. I would have added cheap penny-pinching piker.
What do you mean, cheap penny-pinching piker?
If you paid me a living wage, I wouldn't be forced to take another job.
That's what I want to talk to you about, buddy. Look, what's the idea of taking another job?
I had to. I can't live on what you pay me. Cost of living's gone up. Why, do you realize how much they've increased the bare necessities of life?
No, how much?
20 cents on a fifth. Next thing you know, they'll be raising the price of food.
That will never affect you. Now, what's this extra job you got, Remley?
Oh, something I happen to be well suited for. I'm a babysitter.
You're a what?
A babysitter. I get 50 cents an hour to sit with a baby.
A baby what? Nobody's going to trust you with a human child.
They wouldn't, huh? I run a baby service for mothers who have to go to work. I had 18 of them over the house this morning. I just got through returning them.
Well, good. Now, maybe you can forget about that other job for a while and concentrate on this one. We have a rehearsal to do.
Well, you'll have to call it off. I'm too tired.
What are you tired from?
A musician works from sun to sun, but a babysitter's work is never done. Taking care of kids is a great responsibility, and I'm fully aware of the trust placed in me.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
After all, tiny tots are like delicate flowers. They must be handled with gentleness, tenderness, loving care. Quiet, Myrtle. So I was saying, Curly, the infant must be handled with extreme
Wait a minute,
caution.
just a minute. What was that short burst on the bagpipe?
That's Myrtle.
Who's Myrtle?
One of the babies. I haven't returned her yet. Now, as I was saying, kids...
Hey, Remley, where have you got her?
In my guitar case.
Thank you, TV Wiggles. Look, will you get Sparkle plenty out of that case and let me see her before she suffocates? What's the matter with you?
She won't suffocate. I got air holes in the case.
Will you open that case and take her out?
Okay.
You ought to be ashamed. Hey. Hey, Remley, ain't she a cute little thing? Hey, honey, come here to Uncle Philsy. Oh, you're such a cute baby. Uncle Philsy Wilsey like you.
Indian baby talk yet.
Uncle Philsy think of you as Snooky Yookums. You like him, Uncle Philsy Wilsey?
If she spits in your eye, I wouldn't blame her. Myrtle's a hep kid. She don't go for that corny baby talk.
Yeah. Hey, I got to admit she's a honey, isn't she? Hey, Remley.
Huh?
Hey, let me hold her a minute.
Hey.
Hey, Myrtle. How would you like to... Hey, Remley, I got news for you.
What?
This ain't a Myrtle, it's a Clyde.
You mean?
Yes. Look at the bib. It's blue and it says his on it.
Now that I think of it, I did return Myrtle. Which kid is this?
Well, don't ask me. This dogie's from your herd. Didn't you have him branded?
Well, I had tags with the names and addresses on them. This one must have swallowed his tag. Oh, well, that's life, I always say.
Remley, how can you be so nonchalant? You got one kid left over.
So what? Out of 18, that's not a bad batting average.
Look, Remley, you got to get rid of this kid.
What for?
Don't you realize by now the mother must have called the police? She probably thinks you stole the kid. The police must have a dragnet out already with orders to shoot to kill.
Kill?
Yeah, and the person they find with that baby's going to get the hot seat for being a kidnapper.
Curly, I have good news for you.
What?
You have just become the father of a bouncing baby boy named Clyde. Here he is, and wear him in good health. So long, Curly.
Come back here, will you? Don't try to palm this kid off on me. I ain't no fence for no hot babies.
Well, hold it just for a while, Curly. Give me a chance to concentrate. Maybe I can remember who his mother is.
Well, hurry up, will you? I'm not going to hold this kid all day while he...
honey, I was just passing by and... Well, you've had a busy morning, haven't you, Wanda?
Oh, honey, don't be silly.
What's this? And don't tell me it's the thing. Still, I demand an explanation.
I can explain. This is a baby.
Oh, you must have peeked. I know what it is. I want to know whose it is.
It's mine, Alice.
Frankie, you mean...
No, I don't. I was babysitting with a lot of kids this morning. I got one left over. I can't remember who the mother is.
Oh, Frankie, that's awful. The mother's probably frantic with worry. We've got to find her, even if we have to go from house to house.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't cry, baby. Hey, Alice, look at him. Ain't he a cutesy-wootsy?
Yeah, he's a dollsy-walsy.
Are we all going to talksy-walksy like that?
Look, if we're going to find the kid's mother, we better get started. All right, Clyde. Now just take it easy. Well, stop whining. We'll get you back home. Hey, I'll tell you what. You be a good boy, and I'll sing the thing for you. Everybody's a critic. He sells 1 million records, and this little wise guy don't... Where you been, under a rock, Clyde?
Phil, please.
Oh, with a brain like that, he'll never be nothing but a baby. I'm not gonna fool with him like...
Will you please be quiet? You can't get mad at the child just because he doesn't like your voice. Tell you what, little honey. I'll sing for you. Pipe down. See whether you like it or not. Ask me how do I feel, ask me now that we're cozy and clinging. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, That's the way I've just got to behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light. Or if I were a banner, I'd wave. Ask me how do I feel, little me with my quiet upbringing. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a gate, I'd be swinging. And if I were a watch, I'd start popping my springs, boing. Or if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Ask us how do we feel from this chemistry lesson we're learning.
Well, how do you feel, boys?
Well, dear, all we can say is if we were a bridge, we'd be burning.
Yes, I knew my morale would crack.
You gotta be careful.
From the wonderful way that he looked. Boy, if I were a duck, I'd quack. Or if I were a goose, I'd be cooked. Ask me how do I feel. Ask me now that we're fondly caressing.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Oh, if I were a salad, I know I'd be splashing my dressing.
Or if I were a season, I'd surely be spring. Or if I were a bell, I'd go. If I were a bell, I'd go. If I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong,
Hey, Alice, I'm getting tired of walking around trying to find the mother of this baby. Thank goodness the kid fell asleep.
Oh, I'm tired, too. We've been to 30 houses, and the baby doesn't belong to any of them. What are we going to do?
There's only one thing we can do. Let's take the kid down to the city pound.
Remley, that's for dogs.
Fellas, there are only a few more houses on the block. Let's try them.
Okay, I'll try this house.
Go ahead.
Pardon me, madam. Are you the mother of this child? Ow! What'd she slap me for?
I don't know, unless it's because of that sign over the door.
What sign?
Encino Home for Old Maids.
Come on, we'll try another house.
Hey, wait a minute. I've got an idea.
What's that?
Well, look, how about Joe Galetti's house? I know they got a lot of kids. Maybe this is one of theirs.
Let's go over and find out. Hello, Mrs. Galetti. Is one of your children missing?
I don't know. I haven't looked in the last couple of days. You want I should take a peek?
Well, Mrs. Galetti, you mean you don't know if one of your own children is missing?
How can I be sure if one is missing? I'm not even sure how many we got. It's maybe 15 or 16 or 22. Just a minute. I call my husband. Hey, Joe! How many kids have we got?
I don't know. I thought that you was keeping a score. Who wants to know how many kids have we got?
Well, I do, Mr. Galetti. You see,
Why, look who's he. That's my favorite, the glamour girl. Oh, you're the most beautiful woman in the picture. I never miss one of your picture. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, what's the name again?
Alice Faye.
No, that's not your name. Your name is
Betty Grable?
No, that's not even a woman. She's
Gloria Swanson.
That's she is. It's good to see you again, Mrs. Swanson. Hey, I like you very much in the Sunset Boulevard.
Thanks loads. I'd like you to meet my husband.
Oh, you don't have to introduce him. I didn't know Eric von Stroheim any place. Hi, Max.
Now, wait a minute.
In the Sunset Boulevards, you had a bowler head. But I like you better this way with a curly scalp.
Mr. Galati, maybe you and your wife can help us.
Oh, sure. What do you want us to do? Me and Marie will help any way we can.
Well, I just want to know one thing. Is this your baby?
Let me see. No. This a baby ain't one of mine. She's one of yours, Marie.
No, I don't think she's one of mine. But if you won, she's a nice baby. You can leave him.
Marie, what's the matter for you? You crazy? We got enough of trouble with a stork. Don't start taking her from a stranger.
Well, that's that. Now we've tried every house in the neighborhood. What are we going to do now?
Wait a minute. I have an idea. Let's take the baby to the children's shelter.
Children's? Yeah. Hey, that's it. That's it. They'll find the mother for us. Well, come on, let's go. Hey, Alice, do you really think that they'll take the baby here?
Oh, of course they will. They do a lot of wonderful work for children, and it's run by a very sweet old lady, Phil.
All right, well, look, you wait in the car, honey, and we'll take the baby in. Come on, Remley.
Yeah. Hey, Curly, just so we don't have any trouble, let's leave the kid on the doorstep and run.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I wouldn't do a thing like that. I'm going to ring the bell. What trouble can we have? Alice says this place is run by a sweet old lady, and I'm going to... Oh, how do you do, madam? I'd like to talk to you.
What's on your mind, Mac?
This is a sweet old lady? Julius, what are you doing here?
Never mind me. What are you doing here?
I came down because I need help.
You came to the wrong place. This ain't where you take the cure.
Frank, you don't have to take no cure this week.
Wait a minute. What are you carrying in your arms there?
Our baby?
Oh. And which one of you two guys is the mother?
Neither of us is the mother.
Whose baby is it?
Well, if you must know, it's Frankie's.
Oh, this is quite a surprise. You never told me you were married, Mr. Remley. Who's the unlucky girl?
There is no girl.
Okay, then who's the unlucky alligator? Stop stalling, Mr. Remley. If you're the father of this child, who's the mother? What's her name?
I can't remember. I just met her for the first time this morning.
You met her for the first time this morning, and now you have a baby? I suppose a fair stork with a strong tailwind could make it.
Look, kid, Frankie ain't the father of this baby. Some woman left it with him this morning, and he can't remember who she is.
Hey, this must be the Kramer baby. His mother's been calling in all day to find out if somebody brought him here.
That's the name, Kramer.
Well, thank goodness we found... Hey, Alice, come on in here. We found out who the baby belongs to. Belongs to Mrs. Kramer.
Oh, that's wonderful, Phil. I feel much better now. Well, Julius, what are you doing here?
Hiya, Miss Faye. I come down once in a while to entertain the kids. Today I put on a comedy radio show for them.
Oh, did the children like it?
No, it was too childish for them. They said it was one of the dullest turkeys they ever heard.
Well, naturally. You don't know nothing about writing a radio program. If you were smart, you would have used one of my old radio scripts.
That's the trouble, I did.
Where'd you get one of my scripts?
I called your house and your girls brought it over. I played your part, Mr. Harris.
Yeah? How'd you do in it?
I gotta admit, I didn't get as many laughs as you did.
That's because you're not a comic. If you did it the way I did it, you would have gotten howls.
I know, but I didn't want to drop my pants.
Were our girls in the play, Julius?
Yeah, little Phyllis was in it. And you know, Mr. Harris, when it comes to acting, that kid of yours makes you look like a cigar store Indian.
Are you kidding? Did you hear that, Frankie? Little Phyllis is a better actor than me.
That figures. She's got more talent.
Maybe she has more talent, but I have a certain lovable charm that she will never be able to touch.
Oh, Phil, stop being such a ham. You should be happy that our girls have talent. After a while, they'll be able to take over and support you. After all, dear, I can't work forever.
All right.
Oh, Julius, we finished writing the new lyrics for the song and we... Oh, hello, Mommy. Hiya, Daddy. Oh, Daddy, we have a big surprise for you.
You do? What surprise?
You know that song you made famous?
Which one, my dear? Roses of Bacardi? Or the glowworm? Or there's a girl in the heart of Dixie with a watch that belongs to me? That was the novelty, the last novelty.
No, Daddy. We wrote new lyrics for the thing.
New lyrics to the thing? It's doing all right the way it is. What are you trying to do, kid? Steal my underwear? What's the matter with you?
But, Daddy, we have a good idea. We're trying to get toys for unfortunate children at Christmas.
Toys for unfortunate children at Christmas? Well, hey, that sounds like a swell thought, kids, but where does the thing fit into it?
Well, we want people to send, in the form of a toy, what they might think is the thing. Yes, we're going to call it The Thing for Kids.
Oh, but honey, according to the lyrics of the song, most people think the thing is something horrible.
That's why we wrote new lyrics. Would you like to hear them, Daddy?
Sure I would. Are you ready? I'll give you a downbeat.
While we were walking down the street one happy Christmas day, we saw a funny-looking thing that someone threw away. We went right over to look at it, and much to our surprise, oh, we discovered a broken toy right before our eyes.
Yes, they discovered a broken toy right before their eyes.
We picked it up and ran right home to show it to our dad. He said he'd try to fix it up, and we were very glad. 'Cause then we'd take it and give it to some little girl and boy who might be happy on Christmas Day if they could have the toy.
Yes, they would be happy on Christmas Day if they could have the toy.
The moral of this story is, if you've got anything that you don't want or you can't use, or you might think the thing, don't throw it away, just send it in. That's our advice to you. 'Cause you'll be helping some children have a Merry Christmas too.
Yes, you'll be helping some children have a Merry Christmas too.
Folks, this is Phil again, and I think the kids have a great idea. If we can make the unfortunate children happy at Christmas time, it'll make our holiday a lot happier, too. So if you have some usable toys lying around the house, remember that there are kids in your town who would like to have them. And if you don't have any old toys and you feel like sending new ones, we'd love it. Don't wait until the last minute. Send the thing for kids to a needy kid now. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. We know you'll come through for the children, and good night.
Good night.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips. Included in today's cast were Ollie O'Toole, Jody Gilbert, Mel Blanc, and Jack Crucian. The part of Frankie Remley was played by Elliot Lewis, and Julius was played by Walter Tetley. And remember, 3 chimes mean good times on NBC.
You gotta love it. The Thing for Kids. From 73 years ago, December 3rd, 1950, Bill Harris and Alice Faye. Up next, Edgar and Charlie. And the Chase and Sanborn Hours, classic radio theater with Wyatt Cox, continues following these words.
Not all careless drivers have accidents, but many such careless drivers cause accidents. A woman driver who drives slowly down Main Street while doing a little window shopping is a menace. So is the man who insists on telling the people in the back seat of his car about his poker game last week. It's no wonder that ordinarily cautious drivers start to lose their tempers and take dangerous chances to pass these careless drivers. When an accident results, the person who caused the accident probably won't even be touched. So the National Safety Council says if you want to window shop, get out and walk. If you are too busy describing one of your sterling feats to pay any attention to traffic, get out and walk. The driver's license you have does not give you the right to endanger the lives of your passengers or other human beings. Driving can be dangerous. Keep your mind on what you're doing, or walk.
Safe driving is no accident, so be extra careful as you're out and about, won't you please? All righty, tomorrow on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we're going to go back 85 years for an episode of the Jack Benny Show, an episode of The Great Gildersleeve from 1946 about sponsoring an orphan. Also, The Adventures of Archie Andrews and a Job at the Drugstore. Oh my gosh. And George and Gracie along with their guest Bing Crosby and an episode of Blum and Abner. That's all coming up on our next Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That'll be coming up on your Monday. Right now, though, we start with the first half of the Chase and Sanborn Hour from 84 years ago, December 3rd, 1939. 84 years ago, Charlie and Edgar, and their guest is Maureen O'Hara.
The makers of Chase and Sanborn Coffee, the blend that's friendship in a cup, present the Chase and Sanborn Hour. And your host, Rudy Valley.
This is Rudy Valley saying hi-ho and extending a very cordial welcome to another Chase and Sanborn Hour. For our mutual friends, Donald Dixon, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Robert Armbruster and the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra.
Say, Mr. Valley, could I have a word with you?
Just a minute, Charlie. I still have something to say.
Oh, so sorry.
I'd like to add our warmest greetings to our special guests, Maureen O'Hara and Arthur Treacher.
Yes, and Mr. Valley, if I could ask you, it's...
Wait, Charlie, I'm not quite through yet.
Oh, wound up tonight, aren't you?
Well, perhaps I am. May I express the hope that all of you will continue to renew your friendship with Chase and Sanborn Coffee as steadfastly as you do with our show.
Are you through now, Mr. Valley?
No, Charlie, emphatically not.
Verbose Valley. The verbal windstorm.
Quiet!
All right.
Petrified Don Juan. Or I'll be forced to cut you down a peg.
Ouch, that hurts.
Well, it's all in fun, Charlie. You know that. No hard feelings. The American composer David Guillon has truly captured the spirit of the Old West.
I dare say.
Donald Dixon sings one of Guillon's characteristic compositions of the great outdoors, Ride, Cowboy, Ride.
A yodeling number, huh? Ride 'em, Dixon.
Ride, cowboy, ride. The sun is high and the prairie wide. Ride, cowboy, ride. The eagles cry as your pony stride. Ride, cowboy, ride. Cowboy, ride. Cowboy, ride. Cowboy, ride. Cowboy, ride. The wind is strong as the fresh ride. Ride, cowboy, ride. For night comes on like a silver tide, and love will soon be at your side. Ride, cowboy, ride. Cowboy, ride. Ride, cowboy, ride. Each heartbeat is a hearty cry. Ride, cowboy, ride. The kisses sweet of your prairie bride. Ride, so ride. Ride, cowboy, ride.
The Desert Song by Sigmund Romberg, a refreshing musical oasis of sentimentality and romance. From this popular operetta, Donald Dixon sings the title song.
Is calling, dear, come there with me. I'm longing to teach you love's sweet melody. I'll sing a love song to you, painting a picture for two. Blue heaven and you and I and sand kissing a moonlit sky, a desert breeze whispering a lullaby. Only stars above you to say I love you. Oh, give me that night divine and let my arms in yours entwine. The desert song calling, its voice enthralling, will make you a desert breeze whispering a lullaby. Only stars above you to say I love you. Oh, give me that night divine and let my arms in yours entwine. The desert song calling, its voice enthralling, will make you
Oh, Mr. Dixon! Woo! Mr. Dixon, you know, Christmas is coming along very soon, and I'd like to talk to you about something.
Charlie.
Huh?
Charlie.
What?
Will you please stop bothering Donald?
Oh, please, Mr. Bergen. I have a personal matter I want to discuss with Mr. Dixon. See?
Is that so?
Yeah.
What's it about?
Well, it's confidential, see?
I see. Confidential?
Yes, confidential, yes. It's personal, see?
Mm-hmm. All right.
We'd like to talk alone, see?
I see.
Alone.
All right, you go right ahead.
Just the two of us, see? Two.
Yeah.
T-U-U, two.
Yes.
Get it?
Oh. Are you hinting that you want me to go?
Yeah. Can you possibly get any other interpretation out of it?
Well, Charlie, what are you up to now?
Well, Mr. Bergen, I just want to talk to Mr. Dixon about Christmas.
I see.
Yeah.
Not hinting at presents, I hope.
Oh, no. No, you see, I'm going to work for my spending money this Christmas. I'm starting a business.
Oh, well, now that's fine.
Uh-huh.
And what is this business?
Well, we've opened a Christmas shopper service.
Oh, now that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Here's my card, Mr. Bergen.
Oh, yes, well, McCarthy and Dugan.
That's us.
Let us do your Christmas shoplifting. What? Shoplifting?
Well, typographical.
Yeah.
We lift your shopping burdens.
Oh, I see.
Yes. We save you time and money. With us, your dollar not only goes further, but it goes faster.
Well, Charlie, a Christmas shopper service.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like a very good idea.
Yes, you see, our theme song is, well, all right, shop, chop, chop.
And who is in this with you?
There's Skinny Dugan and me.
Uh-huh.
We're the workers, you see, and Stinky Van Snort is our financial backer.
Oh, fine.
Yes.
Sounds like a good arrangement.
Uh-huh.
You have the experience, and Van Snort has the money.
That's the idea, yes. After we get through, we'll have the money, and he'll have the experience.
Charlie, I object to you taking advantage of Schuyler Van Snort this way.
But wait.
I won't stand for it, that's all.
Well, gee whiz.
Now, Charlie, that's just out, that's all.
Oh, gee whiz. Mr. Bergen, now don't scold me. I'm just trying to raise enough money so I can buy presents for all of you.
Yes.
And maybe if there's a little left over, I'd buy myself just a crust of bread, that's all. Just a crust.
What are you talking about?
Just a crust of bread, that's all. Maybe a few raisins in it. One or two. Preferably two. That's all.
Charlie, you certainly can sing the saddest tune. How do you expect anybody to believe such a thing?
Well, you don't have to queer it for me.
I won't listen to it.
Well, don't queer it for me, that's all. I want to talk to Sucker Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Dixon.
Yes, Charlie?
I have good news for you.
You have?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, Mr. Dixon, I am just able to squeeze you in on my list of exclusive clients for our Christmas shopping service. Just barely squeeze you in.
Well, then I'm at the end of your list?
Yes, you are, yeah. You're at the front end.
Well, what do you charge for this super service?
Well, you see, we work this thing on a sliding scale, see.
Sliding scale?
Yes, that's the way it is. Marvelous idea, too, yes. We buy one gift for you for our service charge is 50 cents, see? For the second gift, we charge 2 bits, you see, approximately 25 cents, you see.
Oh, I see.
For the third gift, our service charge is only 15 cents. See how it slides?
Well, suppose I want to order 4 gifts.
Who, you? Well, the fourth gift will cost you 50 cents. You see, it slides right back up to 50 cents again. You just can't stop it from sliding.
Oh, never mind. I'll do my own shopping.
Yeah. Well, let me warn you, Mr. Dixon. It's awful damp in those bargain basements.
Charlie, may I subscribe to your shopping service?
Oh, Maestro, you're the last one. Just got room to squeeze you in on my list. Lucky you. What's your shopping problem?
Well, I want to buy a gift for my little niece.
I see. Well, how old is the little squirt? I mean, the little darling.
She's about 10 years old. I happened to hear her say that she'd like a pair of skates. But I don't know whether she wants roller skates or ice skates.
Oh, why don't you get her one of each?
I don't think much of that.
You don't, huh?
I guess I'll get her a bottle of perfume.
Perfume? Very nice. Yeah, I can get you a very nice bottle of Eau de Polcato.
Eau de Polcato?
Eau is right. It's very flagrant. Kills ants, too.
Cross me off your list, McCarthy.
I didn't have you on it. Mr. Bergen, how about you?
I know. You've just got room enough to squeeze me in on it.
This is embarrassing. You know what I'm going to say before I open my mouth.
Well, Charlie, I admire your spirit, and I'm going to give you a chance to earn some money.
Oh, good.
There's a little boy that I like very much, and I want to get him something extra special for Christmas.
Yes?
Yes.
Hello, boy?
Yes.
About my age, would you say, offhand?
Yes.
Do I know him?
Yes, you do.
A close friend of yours?
Yes, he is. Very close.
Does he ever sit on your knee?
Yes.
May I suggest a gasoline scooter with a French horn?
Do you think he would like that?
Oh, I'm sure he would. And for no extra charge, I can even have the initials put on the side, CM.
But I don't want that.
Oh, all right, no initials.
Now, how about crating the scooter?
Oh, you don't have to do that. It isn't necessary at all. See, I'll ride it home.
Oh, but it isn't going home. I say it's going to Iowa.
What?
Yes, it's for Mortimer Snerd.
Mortimer Snerd? Send him last year's Christmas card. That's disgusting.
From my treasure chest, I should like to have you hear a song that I've liked for years. In fact, it goes all the way back to a movie short which I made 10 years ago. Its composer, Lester Lee, has romantically captured a warm spring evening under the elms of almost any campus. The song, Under a Campus Moon. Now that we have met once more, I must advise you, idolize you, I simply prize you, and I surmise you feel the same way too. Underneath the same old campus moon, a certain feeling has come a-stealing, you're so appealing to. Fate ordained that we should meet again, dear. Tell me truly that it's not the end, dear. Love's splendid, let's blend it. Why stand it here when we can both be together in a love nest, cozy dove nest. Just think, dear, how happy we'll be when they all say we'll ne'er be parted, for our love started under the campus think, dear, how happy we'll be when they all say we'll ne'er be parted, for our love started under the campus. In homes across the entire continent, from the city apartment to the cabin on the plains, a change is being made. It's been going on all week long, and here is the news right up to date.
And what it amounts to is just this. Nowadays, Chase and Sanborn dated coffee comes in the new drip grind. And when people find that out, why, naturally they change to it. Because everywhere you go, you hear how good it is. In the first place, it's some of the best coffee that ever came off a coffee tree. And then our men have got the knack of roasting it, so every last bit of flavor and richness is brought right to the surface. And as soon as it's roasted, we're smart enough to handle our coffee like a fine, fresh food should be handled. We get it out to the stores in a hurry. We put the date on the silver package so you know it's freshly roasted. And no drip grind dated coffee ever stays in a store more than 10 days. Now, as a matter of fact, our fresh food trucks come around with a new supply every few days. And there's where the saving comes in. Instead of putting our coffee up in expensive containers for storage, we put it in silver packages to sell right away. And that saves you money every time you buy it. Now, you get that saving on the regular grind made for your percolator and on the new freshly roasted drip grind that everybody's talking about. So try it tomorrow. For really delicious, richer, fresher coffee, ask your grocer for Chase and Sanborn dated coffee in the new drip grind.
Talented a bit of loveliness as ever came from the friendly sod of old Ireland is our guest tonight, Maureen O'Hara. This charming young lady is living up to and beyond all press notices and expectations, and delighting critics and moviegoers alike, who mutually find her artistry something to marvel at. We feel sure that you will agree with this high praise of Miss O'Hara when you witness her splendid performance in RKO's forthcoming production, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Tonight, Miss O'Hara appears for us with John Archer, one of Hollywood's most promising young leading men, and with Charlotte Treadway in an original radio sketch written by Hilda Lawrence entitled Rendezvous with Tomorrow. Presenting Maureen O'Hara.
It is twilight in a sleepy little village, and in a small white cottage on the edge of town, two women are alone. One of them looks ahead into nothing. The other, a faithful servant, watches and waits. Finally, she speaks.
Miss Judith, do you want anything? Can't I get you a little something?
No, Mattie, I don't want anything.
The doctor said you was to have anything you wanted.
Did he? He said something else, too. Something he didn't mean me to hear. What was it, Mattie?
Oh, that was good news, Miss Judith. He said you was going to get well. Real soon now, he said.
How soon?
Oh, well, almost any day. You'll be better tomorrow, he said. And the next day, better than that.
Mattie, you're not hiding anything from me, are you?
No, miss.
Yes, you are. Don't lie to me. There's been an answer to my telegram. Michael isn't coming, and you're afraid to tell me. That's it, isn't it? Mattie, he isn't coming.
Oh, no, miss. There's been no answer. I'll bring it to you straight away, you know that. Why don't you stop worrying, Miss Judith? It makes you worse.
I can't help it, Mattie. You don't understand. I treated Michael very badly at one time. I said stupid, cruel things. Maybe he hasn't been able to forgive me.
He loved you once, didn't he?
Yes. But that was 10 long years ago. Oh, Mattie, I must have said the wrong thing in my telegram. Or perhaps I didn't say enough. Mattie, I wonder if I made it clear how much I want to see him and that I'm not angry anymore. Did I? Mattie, tell me what I said again. What did I say?
You just said, I need you.
I need you. I thought that would be enough.
Miss Judith, I just got an idea. Do you know what I think? I think he was so pleased and happy to hear from you that he didn't take the time to answer. I think he just got on the train and come along.
Oh, Mattie, do you think he would? Why didn't I think of it? Why didn't I think of that myself? Of course, that's what he'll do. He'd probably come without a hat and not a scrap of luggage, and you'll have to go down to the village and buy him things. Mattie, when is the next train due?
Most any minute now. But you lie still. You mustn't move.
Then listen, Mattie, you'll have to meet him for me, explain why I can't come, but don't say anything to frighten him. You'll know him, won't you, Mattie?
I'll know him from his picture.
Of course, he'll look older now. It's been a long time since... Yes, it's been a long time. He may feel a little shy at first, but you'll know what to do. Talk to him, Mattie, and make him laugh and bring him here, because he doesn't know the way himself.
But I don't like to leave you here alone.
I shan't mind for such a little while. Hurry.
I'm going.
And Mattie, leave the door wide open, please. I want to hear his footsteps.
Yes, miss.
If he comes.
Judith.
Michael. Oh, Michael, I knew you'd come.
Nothing in the world could have kept me away.
Oh, Michael, I was afraid you'd forgotten me. You know, people do. It's been such a long time, and I've missed you so much. I've written so many letters and torn them all up. You see, I didn't know how you might feel about things now. And then I knew I couldn't live another minute without knowing. That's why I... Oh, Michael, you're here. Nothing else matters.
No, nothing else matters.
Darling, do you know how terrible everything's been? But no, of course you don't. Oh, there's so much I want to say, and I don't know where to begin. I used to lie here all alone with no one to talk to, and remember all the things we used to do. And I wondered where we'd made the mistakes and where I'd failed. I'm afraid I wasn't very understanding, Michael.
Oh, hush, darling. We were both foolish, but that's all over now.
It is, isn't it? Michael, you should have been a doctor. I'm getting better every minute.
You look swell.
Do I? That's been worrying me. You know they won't let me have a mirror, Michael. Michael, how do I really look? Tell me.
You look exactly like a girl who stood outside of Tiffany's one day and said...
Yes? What did I say? You don't remember.
Now, you don't remember yourself. You're just trying to trap me.
Oh, no, I'm not. I remember every word and every minute. I even remember a man who was selling tulips on the corner. Yellow. Now go on. Tell me about that day. Tell me exactly.
Well, we'd been shopping for diamonds, no less. When you discovered that even the little ones cost more than I could afford, you very kindly said you didn't want an engagement ring anyway.
Then I'd rather have a dog. Michael, you're on a day older and I'm getting younger every minute. Did you hear me laugh then? I wish the doctor'd heard it.
Let's see if you can do it again. Now, remember the time when you came... Well, you remember the time, dear?
It's my turn now, I know. Remember the time you tried to make me jealous and went to dinner with that girl who lived across the hall?
No.
Oh, Michael, you must remember that. She'd the longest eyelashes I ever saw.
Eyelashes? Oh, darling, take your hand away from your face. What are you thinking of now?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. Tell me. Tell me what you're thinking. You must.
I'm only thinking about you and me. How we had everything and then somehow lost it all. Michael, I've almost forgotten what the trouble was. I only remember words and tears and how afterwards I was sorry but too proud to say so. And then it was too late. Michael, what did we quarrel about?
I've forgotten, too.
I wish we had those years again. I know so much more now than I did then. Michael, I'm afraid we've spoiled our lives.
No, Judith. I came to tell you about that. Our lives are just beginning.
You say that because you're sorry for me. You don't really believe it.
I'm not sorry for you, and I do believe it.
Michael, suddenly the strangest thing has happened. Everything in the world. It's all right now.
Everything is all right.
Oh, Michael, I wish I'd sent for you. A long time ago.
Perhaps you weren't ready for me before.
Oh, darling. I wanted you every minute. But something held me back. Then yesterday and today, I couldn't bear it any longer. I had to see you. Only you. I was afraid of being alone.
I know you were afraid. That's why I came.
You're never going to leave me again, are you?
Never.
Michael, do you think I'm going to get well?
Yes.
And everything's going to be just as it used to be?
Just as it used to be.
Oh, Michael, that's heaven. To begin again where we left off and go on and on. But I don't want it to end.
It won't end.
Michael, it's dark in here. Is it getting late?
Yes. Yes, it's time for me to go.
Oh, no. No, don't go. Don't leave me now.
Only for a little while. I'm coming back.
But I'm afraid again. Something may happen. Michael, you might change your mind. If I lose you now...
Nothing can happen to us now. I promise.
Oh, thank you, darling. When shall I see you again?
Very soon.
But how soon? You see, I want to know.
Tomorrow.
Early?
Early.
Michael, if I'm asleep when you get here, will you promise to wake me up?
I promise. I'll wake you. Early. Tomorrow.
Miss Judith. Miss Judith.
It's all right, Mattie. It's all right. Everything's all right now.
Yes, ma'am, it is. He sent a telegram. Here, read it, darling, quick.
A telegram? But why didn't he... Oh. Now I know. Now I understand.
I'm mighty glad that everything's turned out the way you wanted. What does Mr. Michael say?
It isn't from Michael. It's from his sister. She says, I regret to inform you that my brother Michael died 10 years ago.
Oh, Miss Judith, what are you going to do?
Oh, Mattie, I'm going to wait. But tomorrow...
And there you have the first half of the Chase and Sanborn Hour from 84 years ago, December 3rd, 1939, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Our boys are still fighting. Are you still saving used fat? It's urgently needed to help make battlefront and homefront supplies.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, let's wrap up this episode of the Chase and Sanborn Hour, as it was originally broadcast December 3rd, 1939.
This is Rudy Valley, and the Chase and Sanborn Hour continues. The most graphic example of the old stage adage, the show must go on, is perhaps contained in Leoncavallo's opera, Pagliacci, the tragic story of the clown who performed his comic antics even while his heart was breaking. Donald Dixon sings the prologue from Pagliacci.
Si può, signore, scusatemi se da sol mi presento, io sono il l'autore. In parte vorrei prendere le vecchie tante e poi in nuova il via mia.
Ascoltate come gli spalta. Andiamo in
In Hollywood, when there is any butling to be done, and to be done in the grand manner, there's only one butler to do it. That icy tyrant of 1,000 cinema pantries, Arthur Treacher. It's a real pleasure this evening to welcome the man behind the tray, the ever formal and humorously formidable Mr. Treacher.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Well, Arthur...
Oh, Mr. Valley, how are you, old boy? May I be of service?
Yes, I imagine that's the word for Treacher, all right. Service. Now, how does it feel to be out with the butler's pantry, Arthur?
There, now you've gone and done it. Really, old man, you might think of others, you know.
Why, Arthur, what's the matter?
The matter? It's perfectly obvious, old boy. Butler's pantries, that's the matter. Why did you have to talk about butler's pantries?
Well, I don't know. You reminded me of one, I guess, that's all.
I reminded you of one? Do I look like a butler's pantry?
Well, as a matter of fact, Arthur, now that you mention it...
Stop. I don't look like a butler's pantry. As a matter of fact, Mr. Valley, when I was but a bouncing boy...
Oh, a bouncing boy, were you, Arthur?
Oh, a little bounder, if I may say so. Well, even then, friends invariably remarked to my mother, "My, but if there's one thing little Arthur does not resemble in the least, it's a butler's pantry."
I'm convinced, Arthur.
Anything but a butler's pantry.
Well, all right.
Ah, that's it. Well, all right. Swing it, old boy.
Swing what?
Well, all right. You said it, didn't you?
I'm beginning to see it was a mistake already.
Well, all right. Chip, chip, chip.
Chip, 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 eh?
That's me. Just a chop off the old block. Oh, rather good one. Oh, very good.
What?
Oh, rooty toot. Hep, hep.
Say, what is all this, Arthur?
Swing, old boy. Hep, hep.
Oh, swing.
Well, you needn't be so depressed about it. What does it sound like?
I don't know, Arthur, but I didn't realize you went in for that sort of thing.
Oh, definitely, old boy. I'm what you call a hep kitten.
A hep kitten?
A regular jitter insect bug creature thing, you know. Gets into your blood. Mad fun. Hey, hey.
I can imagine.
Yes, sir. Hello, Joe. What do you know? Just got back from an operetta.
Operetta?
Yeah, and all that sort of thing, you know. And I'm a new man, by jive. I mean, Joe, there it goes again. I haven't been the same since I sliced my first carpet.
I can see that. But, Arthur, isn't this rug cutting a little undignified?
Mr. Barry, you're just an old icky. If I may, I'll go further. I'll say you're an old ickaroo.
No, not that. Anything but that.
Sorry, old boy, but it pains me, but an ickaroo, definitely. Swing is not undignified. Not the way Treacher swings it.
And how does Treacher swing it?
With a red-hot Sussex sit-out, old boy.
With a red-hot Sussex which-out?
A red-hot Sussex sit-out. A new dance I worked up myself.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. No, old boy, you don't hear it, you do it. The conductor steps to the bandstand, the slush pumps of the chirp box start going to town, everybody's swinging faster and faster and faster, but there you sit. Just sit.
Sitting fast, eh?
That's it, old boy. And I'll tell you what we'll do. Some night this week we'll make a date with a couple of girls and you can see how the thing is done.
You mean I have to have a date for no dancing?
That's right, old boy. And will Wednesday night be all right for not doing it?
Why, yes, Arthur. We'll, let's all not meet at my house and not go dancing from there, shall we?
It's a date. Or is it, old boy? I'm a little confused.
You're a little confused. You're a master of understatement.
Oh, I say it's awfully nice of you to say that. But that's swing for you, isn't it?
Arthur, I just like to say this, but I don't think you know what swing is.
Well, really, do I have to swing something hot for you? Gate?
No, you don't have to. I mean, I won't be hurt if you don't.
Won't you? Won't you really? Well, Rudy, for you, I'll do it. Now, you just go and practice your Sussex sit-out while Mr. Armbruster and I jive a bit off the elbow. Are you ready, Mr. Armbruster? Let's jam it down the groove. What? A Tisket, a Tasket, a brown and yellow basket. I sent a letter to my mater, and on the way I dropped it. I dropped it. Careless, but I dropped it. And the little girlie picked it up and put it in her pocket. She was walking down the avenue with apparently nothing else to do. She was stepping all around when she saw it on the ground. My Tasket, my golden yellow basket. And if she doesn't bring it back, I'll really be most frightfully annoyed.
Was it?
No.
Was it green?
No.
Was it blue?
No. It was just a yellow basket. Just a yellow basket.
Some modern songwriters have put words to the melodies of the old masters, but Clarence Lucas decided to do something new. He borrowed from himself. Mr. Lucas added words to his own piano selection, an interlude, and the result is a song entitled Love is the Interlude, Life the Dream. And this is the song.
Night and morning, tears and laughter, welcome first and parting after. Here today, then away, a bubble upon a stream. All is fleeting, joy and sorrow, hasten onward and past tomorrow. I regretting, you forgetting, love is the interlude, life the dream. While together, journey on through every weather. April day, winter gray, afloat on a purple stream. You forget, but I remember. You are April and I December, sun and gloaming, rest and roaming. Love is the interlude, life the dream.
When the curtain comes down on a fine play, the applause is a clapping of hands. When a team does well on the playing field, hats fly into the air. And applause that comes in the marts of trade is very much the same.
Yes, sir, it's hats in the air and calls for more all over the country. Chase and Sanborn dated coffee in the new drip grind is going like a house afire. And our fresh food trucks are rushing around top speed to keep up with the demand. With drip grind, you see, freshness and lots of flavor are important. And that's where our roasting plants from coast to coast just fill the bill. It's out of the ovens, into the dated packages, and off to the stores. 1, 2, 3. And the date on every silver package is a hard and fast guarantee of richer flavor and more of it, because the coffee is freshly roasted. And no package stays in any store over 10 days. Our salesmen come around every few days with a new roasting, and that keeps your grocer's stock fresh all the while. They deliver the regular grind at the same time, so you can have dated coffee for your percolator if you make it that way. And there's a saving in that system, too. By speeding up our deliveries and dating the packages, you're sure of freshness. We do away with the need for expensive containers. This silver package we use cuts the cost and keeps the price down. So, any way you look at it, this coffee's just made for you. Get some Chase and Sanborn dated coffee in the new drip grind tomorrow. You'll see it's delicious.
Begorra, greeting Begorra From Charlie McCarthy to Maureen O'Hara.
Well, thank you, Charlie. That's a very lovely reception. You make me feel right at home.
Well, when the McCarthys and the O'Haras get together, sure it's a reunion of the old barney.
Sure, so it is, my boy. And what have you cooked up this evening for this evening's session of the Charter Club, McCarthy?
Sure, and it's a play taken from one of your pictures, Ben cooked up.
Bain? And what kind of Irish is that?
That's the Bergen influence. Anyhow, I thought it would be nice to present a scene from your picture.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No, Jamaica Inn. A scene which I have improved upon to such an extent that nobody will recognize it. Or even like it.
That sounds delightfully modest, Charlie. And what do you call this dramatic piece of bric-a-brac?
I call mine, Is Jamaica Inn? Long Island. Tell them about it, Bannon.
Our scene is laid at the Hotel North.
Located in the eastern part of the West Indies with southern cooking.
The hotel is beautifully situated on a hilltop and overlooks everything.
Including service, yeah.
During the action of this play, the curtain will be lowered for 15 minutes.
To denote the passing of a quarter of an hour.
Charlie, do I get a part in this play?
Oh, yes, Miss O'Hara. You play the part of the Countess. Nice, huh?
Oh, Charlie.
Huh? Oh, yeah, what is it, Mr. Bergen?
Do I play a part?
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you play the part of a Swedish ambassador.
Oh, a Swedish ambassador?
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
Yeah. Of course, it isn't much of a part. You see, you decide to stop at another hotel, so, you don't appear in the play at all. Unfortunate, but so. Curtain. Oh, Sambo Dixon. Sambo, I'm calling you.
I was hearing you all.
Well, why didn't you all answer all?
I was busy doing some strenuous resting.
Yeah. Well, did you take the ice water up to 212?
No, sir, I hasn't.
Well, how about doing it now?
No, sir, not now. I was sitting down.
Well, all right, I'll ask you sometime when you're standing up. Say, did you spread the tacks out in the roadway like I told you?
Oh, yes, sir, I done that.
Oh, you done that. There's a shortage of Southern actors. You'll have to bear with us. Then we should have guests any minute if the tax is there. We should have.
I beg your pardon, but may I have the key to room 316?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that room is occupied by the Duke de la Valle, who has retired for the night.
I am the Duke de la Valle. I just fell out of the window. May I have the key?
Oh, yes. Here it is. Better luck next time.
Say, boss, there's a bar coming down the road now.
Yeah, boy, you sure put enough tax out there then, huh? Yeah, I guess you did. Tell you, that puncture is music to my business ears. Good evening.
I have just had an unhappy incident. 4 of my tires started hissing.
I don't blame them.
What will you charge for lodging until my tires will stand inflation?
Well, I tell you, we can give you a flat rate of $3, including tax. And if I'm not being too impertinent, what is your name, Arbiter?
I am Lord Egbert T. Fripp of Frupp.
Well, Frupp of Fripp? Bing!
You. Egbert T. Fripp of Frupp.
Oh, that name gets on your coat. Well, Welcome, Egg. Sambo, will you give a room key to this deadbeat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, toodaloo. Good night.
Well, good night. Frip of fruff.
Say, boss, did you all know who all he all am?
Yes, all. He's a very famous man. He's a test pilot for revolving doors.
He am?
Yeah, he am, yeah. Why don't you go out with him sometime on a trial spin?
Not me. I was dizzy enough now.
You can say that again.
Bonsoir, I beg your pardon. May I have the key to room 316?
316? Why, certainly. Why, I thought you went up to your room a few minutes ago.
I did. I fell out of the window again.
Nasty habit you got into. Don't you find it a bit monotonous?
Yes, a little bit. Thank you for the key.
Sounds like more business, huh? Yep, it sure does. Greetings, madame. Welcome to our humble little haven. Would you like to stop here with us?
It isn't a question of what I'd like, but I had tire trouble out in front of your inn.
Is that so? Must have been those tanks, huh?
I got 2 flat tires.
Oh, only 2, huh? Sambo! More tanks. Sign the register, please, madame.
Oh, no. I never sign anything unless my barrister reads it first. I am the Countess Dublin.
Dublin?
Yes.
From Green Apple?
Oh, no, from Erin.
Oh, to be sure, to be sure. Are you alone, or do you want a 2-passenger room?
Well, I'm traveling with Frances.
Oh. And is that Frances in the corner?
Yes, she's my cousin, twice removed.
Oh. Well, you can remove her again.
I want the finest accommodation in the place, please.
Very well, madame. Sambo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, and yes, sir.
Well, that's putting it on thick enough. We know you're trying. Show the Countess to the royal suite.
Oh, how charming. The royal suite. It's really better than the other rooms.
Oh, decidedly so. It has a ceiling.
Encore, I beg your pardon, but may I have the key?
Did you fall out of 316 again?
May we know? Your boy gave me the key to the wrong room. I fell out of 312.
Sambo? I'm getting awful tired of you making mistakes like this.
Yeah, sure enough?
Yeah, sure enough, yeah. And I'm sick and tired of that southern accent you're trying to do, too, Dixon.
Well, shut my mouth.
That's not a bad idea. Is there an actor in the house, though?
Deep in the blackness of the night lies fanciful pictures and lovely dreams for those whose imagination can carry them into the land of unreality. Donald Dixon sings the very beautiful composition, Visions.
The sorrows that come by night, dreams seek for music. of sweet content. Oh, brightens the sad heart while tones ring with mirth. Song brings a vision that heaven sent. Love sings in a rapture of the life thrills the
The business of doing this Chase and Sanborn Hour is such a pleasure that I think all of us, Edgar, Bobby, Donald, and myself, regret seeing each hour end. But fortunately, there's one grand consolation. Saying so long tonight only means that we'll have an opportunity to say hi-ho again next Sunday. As for the days in between, may we offer a toast to our friendship for you and your friendship for us. A toast with Chase and Sanborn coffee, because Chase and Sanborn coffee is truly friendship in a cup. We'll all be back next week. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour and Robert Armbruster, and the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra. Our guests will be Lansing Hatfield and Vera Vague. Until then, this is Rudy Valley anticipating another hi-ho.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
You gotta love how you went all the way from opera to slapstick comedy to drama in a single hour show. The Chase and Sanborn Hour, as it was broadcast 84 years ago, December 3rd, 1939. When Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues, we won't be cranky. We'll light up an Old Gold with the Old Gold Comedy Theater, Harold Lloyd, and Take a Letter, Darling.
Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom.
And now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Harold Lloyd fronting the Old Gold Comedy Theater from 79 years ago, December 3rd, 1944.
From Hollywood, California, the makers of Old Gold cigarettes present The Comedy Theater, the only radio program that brings you every week the greatest stars in the greatest comedies. Tonight's play, Take a Letter, Darling, starring John Hodiak and Susan Hayward. And here is the director of the Old Gold Comedy Theater, Mr. Harold Lloyd.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our play tonight, Take a Letter, Darling, was cast in a very psychic manner. Because when we asked ourselves, now, who would be a perfectly virile young man for our lead? A little voice said,
Johnny Hodiak.
And when we asked ourselves, now, who would combine charm and humor and rugged individuality, a little voice said,
Johnny Hodiak.
So we listened to that little voice, and it grew into a big, strong voice which said the very same thing.
John Hodiak.
Welcome to Comedy Theater, John. Pull up a microphone and make yourself broadcastable.
Thank you, Harold.
I hope you managed to find a leading lady, John. You'll need one, you know.
Yes, I know. And I had an experience similar to yours, Harold, because when I asked myself,
Who's a beautiful girl with poise and sophistication and charm? A little voice said.
Susan Hayward.
Well, now, isn't that amazing? Probably both of us are wired for sound. But what did you do?
I listened to that voice, and it grew stronger, but it always said the same thing.
Susan Hayward.
Welcome, Susan. What do you think of our psychic powers?
Quite impressive. Do you tell fortunes, too?
Indeed, I do. I huddled with my prognosticator this afternoon, and I can safely predict that you and John are going to give as delightful performances tonight as John is giving in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Marriage is a Private Affair, and yours, Susan, in Paramount's And Now Tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Now, let me begin this way. Once upon a time, a very shrewd advertising man said, "It pays to advertise," and made himself a lot of money. And once upon a time, Tom Verney, a very shrewd young man, said, "It pays to be in advertising," and made himself a lot of trouble. It all began when Tom carried 6 feet of muscle, 2.5 feet of shoulders, and a letter of introduction into the offices of Atwater and McGregor, advertising specialists.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a letter of introduction, A.M. McGregor.
Is it about a job?
Well, yes.
You want to know something?
Well, yes.
You'll get the job.
Well, yes.
Yes. The more I look at you, the more I'm sure you'll get the job. Chump.
Chump.
Third door to the right. Just walk in.
Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it, chump.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for McGregor.
Well, you found her. Close the door. Come on in and sit down.
Well, I am sorry. Dooley didn't tell me McGregor was a lady.
Is a lady. You have a letter from him? May I see it?
Yes, here.
Tom Verney, huh? I might be able to use you. What have you done?
Well, nothing much. I had an income and lived as I pleased. Shipped aboard freighters twice, once to the Argentine, once to Portugal. I was bodyguard to a banker, played pro football for a couple of years, but, none of it was work.
Piggy bank empty?
That's right.
College graduate?
Yep.
Do you like advertising?
Not particularly.
Well, that's a fine start. What do you like?
Well, I guess I'm childish, but that's my secret.
Stand up.
Huh? What?
How do you look in clothes?
Clothes?
Yeah, I mean a decent suit or tails.
Well, isn't this suit decent? I've worn it for 2 years, haven't been arrested once.
Please answer my question and try not to be cute.
Pardon me, fire away.
Do you dance?
Fairly well, no prizes.
Are you married?
Nope.
Any obligations?
What kind?
Female.
No.
Well, you're a little on the gargantua side, but I'll take a chance. You'll start at $50 a week.
$50?
When you're worth more, you'll be paid more.
Oh, thanks. But what am I?
My private secretary.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about shorthand or typing.
Oh, we have girls in the outer office for that. Your duties will be more personal.
I see. Miss McGregor, I came here because I needed money, but if what I'm thinking is right, pardon me while I go out and start digging a nice clean ditch.
Oh, just a moment, Mr. Verney. Believe me, I won't hurt you. Your 3 predecessors made the same mistake. It was probably the night work that fooled them.
Night work?
Mm-hmm. You see, a woman in advertising has an edge and a handicap. She's a woman. That's the edge. But so are the wives of the executive she has to deal with. And that's the handicap.
Oh, and they think that You're
learning, Verney. And that's what we're up against tonight. We're dining with a Mr. and Mrs. French. He has a $2 million advertising contract that I could use, and a wife that I could choke.
Can't say I blame her for being suspicious. You're quite beautiful.
You're learning. And that's why I need you.
To choke the wife.
Oh, no, you won't have to go that far. Just a little extra pressure when you're dancing with her should do the trick. See what I mean?
I'm learning.
How does the job strike you?
Repulsive.
$50 a week.
Impressive.
You'll take it?
Positive.
Good. Now dash over to Barton's and get yourself a full-dress suit. Here's the address. I'll pick you up tonight at 7. You'll probably need alterations. Hurry now and ask for Mr. Barton personally.
You, Mr. Barton?
I'm Mr. Barton.
Miss McGregor sent me.
Oh, Mr. Verney. Miss McGregor phoned about you, so you're the new secretary, eh?
Yeah, I'm the new secretary. Let me see some soup and fish. I have to pick one out.
Now. My men have taken care of everything.
What do you mean?
Well, tails, top hat, stick, gloves, complete gentleman. It's all ready for you.
Stick?
And I have a little surprise for you, Verney. You're going to get 2 business suits also. You lucky dog, you.
Don't poke me in the ribs. How do I know this stuff's going to fit?
My dear boy, I have been dressing Miss McGregor's secretaries for years. But we'll try this coat on just to make you happier. My, but you do have broad shoulders and large biceps. Wrestle?
With you?
Well, please, certainly not. No, indeed. I was just making chit-chat.
Well, this coat's too tight.
Maybe and maybe not. Miss McGregor likes a form-fitting coat.
I'm wearing it.
Miss McGregor is buying it.
Oh, I see. What would you do if I held out for a large one?
Unfortunately for you, I should be forced to telephone Miss McGregor. Now, wait a minute. Don't bunch your shoulders and don't stretch your arms. You'll rip the coat. Oh, you huge beast.
I thought that was a ripping good scene, didn't you, B.W.?
Well, frankly, H.L., I didn't think Mr. Barton had to get upset. Supposing Tom did rip a coat. Did you hear what Barton called him? A huge beast.
Oh, but B.W., you must remember that Barton is an artist at his work. Every thread and stitch in that coat was a work of art. And with one stretch of his arms, Tom ripped the coat to shreds. Now, why shouldn't Barton be annoyed?
Oh, come now, H.L. You know that when situations like that arise, we have a magic formula.
Oh, of course. Gee, someone should have told Barton. Someone should have said to him, why be irritated? Light an old gold.
H.L., truer words were never spoken. Yes, smokers, why be irritated? Light an old gold. When you need a minute to straighten yourself out, that's the time for the comfort and pleasure of a fine cigarette. But you know from experience that you get no pleasure if your cigarette is dry and harsh. Therefore,
to help prevent cigarette dryness, Old Gold's magnificent tobaccos are conditioned with apple honey. This special conditioning process helps hold in the natural moisture, helps guard your smoking enjoyment.
And smokers, that's not all.
To give you a smoke of unusual richness, of delicious, matchless flavor, a touch of rare imported Latakia tobacco is added to Old Gold's great blend of many great tobaccos.
Yes, and it all adds up to the keenest smoke ever. Old Gold, with its extra flavor, plus the special protection of apple honey, which helps guard against cigarette dryness. So, friends, play it smart. When little annoyances come your way, just say, why be irritated? Light an Old Gold. Yes, light an Old Gold and see for yourself why they've tripled in popularity.
Yes, this is Harold Lloyd to tell you that Tom Verney carried off his first assignment with flying colors. While Mrs. French spread her wings and Tom spread the oil, McGregor spread the contract before Mr. French and got 5 winks, 3 hand squeezes, 2 knee nudges, and 1 important signature. And McGregor was grateful. She doubled Tom's salary. Yes, McGregor knew a good man when she saw one. That is, secretarially speaking. And she knew an unhappy man when she saw one, too, because the next day in the office she said,
Vernie, you did a fine job on Mrs. French. What did you say to her?
I did what you told me, that's all.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
You don't like your work, huh?
Well, I don't feel honest. I don't even feel like a man.
Do you want to quit?
No.
Why not?
I need the money.
Oh. Vernie.
Right.
What do you think of me?
How do you mean?
Well, personally, what's your opinion?
You're a very successful woman, beautiful and clever, that's all I think.
Vernie, do you think you could ever fall in love with me?
What?
Answer me. Do you think you could ever fall in love with me?
No.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. You're liable to be the best secretary I've ever had. Now, you just do what I tell you, do it well, and think what you want.
Thanks, I always do.
Oh, pardon me. I thought you were alone.
Come on in, it's all right. This is Atwater, my partner. Vernie, my new secretary I was telling you about.
Glad to know you.
How do you do?
Big fella, isn't he?
Smart operator, too. He knocked 20 years off of Mrs. French last night with his strong right arm.
I used to be good at that sort of thing, and then all at once I lost my fire, my waistline.
And quite a few good contracts.
I've got an exercise that's good for the waistline.
Well, I don't need it. I've got a partner that's good for the contracts.
And why should you worry as long as I'm willing to make your living, huh?
Oh, no complaint, my dear. I came in to tell you that Jonathan Caldwell and his sister Ethel are in town.
Oh, the man with 4 wives and a tobacco fortune.
He hasn't any wife now. He hates and despises women. Can't stand the sight of them. After 4 strikes, he's not only out, well, he threw his bat away.
Been reading up on him?
Talked to him last night.
You know, the Caldwell Tobacco Company should keep him locked up.
Their president?
He's the president?
He's the big wheel, along with his sister. Well, he's in town to change agencies.
What? Well, why didn't you say so? Get him on the phone. What are we waiting for?
Now, take it easy. You haven't got a chance. He hates women.
That's a $10 million account. Who's a woman?
You were, last time I looked in your direction.
Well, don't be silly. We're wasting time. If he hates women, I'll be something else.
This she does with mirrors.
Don't be a sap, Atwater. Look, get me all the newspaper clippings on his past love life.
I know a couple of books you'd enjoy more.
Vernie, have the art department get me copies of the Caldwell advertising layouts for the past 5 years.
All right.
And then go to the library and get all the books you can on tobacco. Everything about tobacco.
Okay.
And get going, partner. Get Caldwell on the phone and make an appointment for me next Monday. I'll need the weekend to plan my campaign.
Well, you don't need to get so excited about it. It's just another account. Oh, what am I saying?
Anything else?
Yeah, pack a bag for the weekend. We'll work together.
A bag? Where?
At my lodge. Now, we've got a lot of work to do, and we won't be disturbed. Oh, remind me to get a couple of dresses. Very demure and innocent looking.
For the lodge?
Of course not. For Caldwell.
Oh, should I make train reservations?
Oh, don't bother. We'll drive.
Boy, there's nothing like a fireplace and a good log fire to stretch your feet in front of. I'm just a natural-born foot toaster.
All right. Now get busy with your homework. Grab one of those books and learn all about tobacco.
Well, can't I have a breathing spell?
No. Just look at me going through 7 years of Caldwell's life. 7 years and 4 wives. Miss Tobaccoland of 1934, an elevator girl, a friend of his first wife, and a nightclub dancer. And I volunteered to get his signature on an advertising contract.
You'll get it.
Why do you say that?
You're class, and you're pretty, too. The minute he finds out you're different, he's hooked.
Thanks, but it won't be that simple.
It'll be a cinch for you. It's women with their hearts that get messed up. A woman without emotion can plan like a general in battle.
Oh, I see. Vernie, why do you work at a job you don't like?
I need the money.
We're a lot alike, you know that? We'll both swallow our pride to get just what we want. You for 100 and I for a little more. You know, you could be a very successful man, Vernie.
Not the way you mean.
Why not?
And I guess I'll have to explain about myself after all. I'm an artist. Trouble is, I paint what I like, and 9 times out of 10, that means no money.
Are you good?
I haven't decided. You see, I took this job to earn enough money for a jalopy and a trailer. Then I'm going to head from Mexico to paint my head off and live by the sun.
I've dreamt those dreams. They never come true.
They will for me. Anyway, now you know why I dance around with your fat, jealous wives.
Now I'll tell you something, silly. I write.
Write what?
Poetry.
Oh?
Well, go ahead and laugh.
Why? All of us are poets. Only some can put it in words and some just get a feeling.
I like you, Vernie. Never fall in love with me, will you?
Don't worry.
Well, what do you say it like that?
Look, you're just a beautiful brain and beautiful clothes. No temperature, no pulse, that's all.
Where did you learn about women, Vernie?
It isn't a matter of learning, just instinct.
So I'm a brain with no pulse, huh? Look, I'm a woman, Vernie. More woman than you've ever known. When I fall in love, it's going to be like the sea crashing against the rocks, and lightning flashing across the sky, and thunder rolling through the mountains. I mustn't make a mistake. It can happen only once. Understand?
Come here, I'm going to kiss you.
Get your things packed. We're going back to town.
Tonight?
As soon as you're ready.
Why?
As long as you're working for me, you'll do as you're told. Start packing. I'll meet you outside in the car.
Okay, you're the boss. May I ask a question?
Certainly.
Am I fired?
No. Why, you've proven very capable. If you continue to do your work well, there's no reason why you shouldn't remain on salary.
I'm talking about my kissing you.
Oh, that's forgotten. It was an incident of no importance.
You're running away from it. That makes it important. You see, you've worked hard for independence, and you're afraid you're going to lose it. Well, you are, but I promise you won't regret it.
May I ask a question?
Sure?
Have you decided I'm in love with you?
Yes.
Well, let me assure you I'm not. And will you keep your place as an employee, or will I have to fire you after all?
Sorry, my mistake. I won't get out of line again.
If I hurt you, I'm sorry. But I had to set you straight.
No harm done. I heal quickly.
Shake.
Shake.
And now we can go after Caldwell.
We? I thought he was wifeless at the moment.
Oh, he is. But he has a sister.
Oh, well, not interested.
You will be when I tell you about the bonus.
What bonus?
Well, if we land the Caldwell account, there's $10,000 in it for you.
$10,000? Oh!
What does that mean?
Well, ain't nobody here but us wolves, boss. Nobody here but us wolves.
Well, Tom was right. McGregor got in to see Jonathan Caldwell, and when he discovered she was a woman, he threw her out. But she left behind some advertising samples that caught his eye, and she left behind the memory of beautiful hair and beautiful features and a beautiful figure that must have caught his other eye, because that afternoon he phoned and told her.
I called to find out if you submitted that campaign to my competitors as you threatened to do.
Why, no. Not yet.
Well, don't. I think it merits further discussion. How are you with women?
Women?
Yes, my sister has the final say in the advertising. You'll have to convince her. Well, how about dinner with us tonight?
Oh, that'll be excellent. Oh, by the way, one of our best men is just back from Washington, Tom Verney. Mind if I bring him along?
Feel you'll need some help with my sister?
Not at all, but, well, he has some of the best brains in the advertising business, and we could use his ideas.
Well, bring him along. She might fall from at that.
And did Ethel Caldwell fall for Tom? She fell like a German city for General Patton. 2 dances, and she told him how she loved the North. 6 dances, and she told him how he'd love the South. 10 dances, and she told him how much the South loved the North. 12 dances, and the band went home. So they returned to their table, where they found a very amused Jonathan Caldwell and a very irritated McGregor.
I do declare, Tom is a divine dancer.
You two dance very well together.
Like a couple of penguins.
You made up your mind about the advertising, sis?
Well, really, it's so late, and, well, the place is closing.
Perhaps tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, I'm leaving for Carolina. Oh, well, do you fly, Tom?
Fly?
To Carolina with me. We could lounge around for a couple of weeks while you mull over your ideas.
Sure move, Ernie, if you can break your chain.
What do you say, Tom? You'll be my house guest at Caldwell Acres. After all, we can accomplish just as much there. Maybe even more.
You know, I'm sure he'd enjoy that, Miss Caldwell, but he has important conferences in Washington. Don't you, Verney?
No.
What?
No, the president can wait. I'll be very happy to accept your invitation, Ethel.
Well, that's that, and I do mean that. Well, after all, your interest is only in getting our account, Miss McGregor. This looks like the way to do it.
Oh, yes. Of course, if Mr. Verney feels the president can wait. I'm just a taxpayer.
I'll have the hotel arranged for another plane ticket.
Well, that'll be fine. Shall I call for you at your hotel?
Well, do. Then we can have breakfast together.
Well, of all the...
Steady. Remember that contract.
I never
Business,
saw
you
such
know.
a disgusting exhibition of...
Now never cry over spilled hamburger. After all, you brought it along for the wolf.
Is your sister a wolf?
Mm-hmm. Runs in the family. Didn't you notice how long he is?
Yes, and I'd like to tear them off. Just wait till I get him alone. I'll tell him. You deliberately accepted that invitation, knowing I didn't want you to go.
I did what you told me to. Don't you like it?
You don't need a mink coat. You can say no, can't you?
And lose the contract?
What do you know about advertising? What are you going to tell her about the campaign when you get down there?
I'm not worried. You can send down ideas every now and then, and I'll spring them on her.
Oh, as your bright thoughts, of course.
Sure.
Sure. Fine. I should beat my brains out so that you can convince her that you're an encyclopedia with muscles.
Oh, let's not get excited. If I made a mistake, fire me.
I can't fire you, and you know it.
All right, then I quit.
No!
Then stop yelling at me.
I'll just say one thing. Never in my whole life have I seen a man make a greater fool of himself over a woman.
Check.
Prancing around the floor like a Great Dane chasing butterflies.
Check.
You never even asked me for a single dance.
Check and double check.
So Tom went to Caldwell Acres as Ethel's guest and had a wonderful time while McGregor burned. And back in New York, Jonathan Caldwell burned too, but his temperature was induced by love. So he picked up the phone, dialed a number, and said...
I've got surprising news for you.
About your sister?
No, nothing so trivial. It's about me. I've fallen in love with you. How soon can I see you?
Oh, well, look, some important business has come up. I'm leaving for Caldwell Acres this afternoon.
Perfect, so am I. I'll have you on my own home grounds.
Are you hinting that I have a chance of becoming Mrs. Caldwell the Fifth? Do I have to join a union?
Nothing so drastic. But I warn you, I'm going to make you care for me. And I say that knowing that right now, spiritually, you're sitting on Tom Verney's lap.
And he was so right, because as soon as they arrived at Caldwell Acres and McGregor could get Tom alone, she said,
What do you think I'm paying you for? Why didn't you answer my wires? Why, these sample layouts haven't even been opened.
No, take it easy. I figured out another campaign with Ethel. She didn't like your ideas.
Oh, she didn't?
No. Our idea is to show the world's most famous painters at work on their masterpieces. And eat smoking. The painters, I mean. Oh, here are some of the pictures I painted.
Hey. Well, say, these aren't bad. Not bad at all. What an idea. And what a campaign. We'll run these all over the country, and wait till you see the copy I'll write for it.
Oh, sorry. Ethel's writing the copy.
Oh, she is she? Well, let me tell you...
Look, I have to change cocktails with Ethel at 5.
Oh, pardon me for intruding.
How am I doing, Ma?
Yeah, Tom was doing fine. He was doing just what Jonathan had advised.
Look, you can't overdo this jealousy business. Pour it on.
Yeah, but isn't there a time when a girl like Mac is liable to get too much and bounce back into some other fella's arms?
Not a chance. You can't overdo it. Pour it on.
And he did. He really poured it. So heavily that McGregor finally came to Jonathan and said,
Jonathan, a while ago, you asked me to marry you. Does that offer still stand?
Why, yes.
Good. I accept.
And then Jonathan went to Tom and said,
Well, old man, I guess you can stop pouring it on now.
You mean she's had enough?
Yep, she's going to marry me.
Marry you?
That's right. Well, what are you going to do about it?
Just this.
Oh.
And now we'd like to get serious for a moment about a subject that's very serious to you. You've been hearing lots of confusing stories about cigarette shortage. Maybe you've been asking yourself lots of questions. Well, here's Bob Williams with a real answer to those questions.
You want to know, of course, why there is a cigarette shortage. Well, there's a reason. In fact, 3 big reasons.
Reason number 1.
Like many other manufacturers, cigarette producers are faced with a manpower shortage. Many of the men and women who made your cigarettes before are making vital war goods now. So that puts a limit on the number of cigarettes that can be made. But the makers of Old Gold can tell you this. In spite of these difficulties, we're turning out every cigarette we possibly can. However,
there's reason number 2.
More people are smoking more cigarettes than ever before. The demand for Old Gold has been especially heavy. It has actually tripled in recent years. Naturally, we're sorry there aren't enough to go around everywhere, but be sure of this. We're doing our utmost to assure the fairest possible distribution of Old Golds, and no cigarettes are being held back.
And here's reason number 3.
Billions of American cigarettes go overseas to our armed forces. Every week, a substantial part of Old Gold production is earmarked for overseas shipment. Now, you may wonder why some of our GIs abroad are also faced with shortages. Well, there's a reason for that, too. Recently, in a press release, High Army authorities declared when preparations were being made for the big push to Germany, shells and ammunition went through first. Less essential items piled up on the docks. But the cigarettes are being set aside for our armed forces, and in tremendous quantity. So remember,
manpower shortages at the plant, increased cigarette demand at home, massive shipments abroad to our men and women.
Those are the big reasons why you can't always buy Old Golds and most other popular brands. Now think of those reasons when you hear irresponsible rumors about the cigarette shortage.
Yeah, this is Harold Lloyd again, and you're all invited to the wedding. Oh, yes, it's scheduled. Tom is back in New York, brooding in his attic studio. Atwater brought him his check for $10,000 because the Caldwell account has been landed. But Tom, he isn't happy. So he sends McGregor a large portrait for a wedding present. And at Caldwell Acres, they are rehearsing the wedding, and 2 of Jonathan's disapproving aunts have retired to the library to inspect the presents, when suddenly...
Oh! What in the world was that?
Sounded like Aunt Judy. We'd better go see.
So, there you are. Jonathan Caldwell, you're a fool.
Aunt Judy.
And you woman, you're what I knew you were the minute I laid eyes on you.
Minnie.
We refuse with all the decency that's in us to be present at this wedding.
If your mother were alive...
Come, Minnie. We'll never enter this house again.
To think we'd ever live to see the day.
What are they talking about?
You'll find it with the presents. Quite a charming portrait of you, Miss McGregor.
Of me?
Here it is. Well, what's this card? To Mac in Memoriam, Tom.
Why, it's almost nude. What a childish trick.
What a relief, I'd say.
Relief?
To find out you're human. Was Varney foolish enough to think that this shot would me out of the marriage?
Well, I don't care what he thinks. What about you? Do you think I posed for this?
Oh, Mac, forget the act. I know how these things happen. A couple of advertising executives on their night off.
But I tell you, I had nothing to do with this. Do you think I have hips like that?
You don't understand. I'm glad you did pose for it. You know, I've been around myself. It's good to know you talk my language.
Oh, so I talk your language, do I? You and your 4 other wives, why, you big flub. I wouldn't marry you if you were the last pair of pants below the Mason-Dixon line.
Now, wait a minute. Don't show that face!
I wasn't going to, but thanks for a wonderful idea.
And that should have ended everything. But when a girl's walking along a southern highway, burdened with 2 suitcases, and a young fella like Tom Verney comes along in a jalopy with a trailer attached, she can't throw rocks at him forever, can she? Sooner or later, she'll just have to get in and hear him say,
Sorry, Mac. It's the only way I could bring you to your senses.
Where are you going?
Mexico, remember? Got a lot of painting to do down there. Where do you want me to drop you off?
Oh, anywhere.
Sure thing. You can get back to New York and your advertising business. You've got freedom and independence. It's in your blood. You'll never change.
Tell me, how are you going to live?
Me? Old beans and tortillas out in the open. Rough it. That's for me.
Verney.
What?
How do beans and tortillas out in the open taste?
Best food in the world.
I'd like to try some.
You mean you're coming along?
Mm-hmm.
Just for that?
Not just that. I'm going to teach you how to paint.
Well, thanks, but I'm pretty good already.
You've got one weakness.
Like what?
Maybe you need a streamlined model. You're not too good on hips.
This is Harold Lloyd.
This is Susan Hayward.
This is John Hodiak.
Saying good night to you for Old Gold. And I hope you'll be with us again next Sunday when the Old Gold Comedy Theater presents Adolphe Menjou in Louder, Please. See you then.
Take a Letter, Darling was presented by arrangement with Paramount Pictures, producers of Frenchman's Creek. Have you noticed Old Golds are wrapped in cellophane again? That's because Old Gold uses its government-allocated supply of cellophane now during the winter months only, when cigarettes need extra protection against dryness. So when you get Old Golds wrapped in cellophane today, you know they are newly made. And listen to Old Gold's other great new show, Which is Which, with Ken Murray as MC, Richard Himber's orchestra, and famous stars of stage, screen, and radio, or their reasonable facsimiles. Tune in Wednesday night on another network. Consult your newspaper for time and station. Bob Williams saying good night for Old Gold.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
December 3rd, 1944, 79 years ago, the Old Gold Comedy Theater here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, comedy with Jack Benny, the Great Gildersleeve, Archie Andrews, George Burns, and Gracie Allen, and Lum and Abner. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream, and we'll see you on Monday for another edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.